Hey guys, Chris from Hockey Tutorial here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Green Biscuit Snipe, which is the one on my right over here. This is the previous Green Biscuit model. Taking a look at the main differences between them that's really noticing, really eye-catching rather, is the first thing is going to be the colour. You can see that the new Green Biscuit Snipe is a much darker shade of green. The next most obvious change is going to be the weight. This puck over here, the original Green Biscuit, weighs about 4.6 ounces, and the new Snipe Green Biscuit puck in the darker shade of green weighs 5.2 ounces. So it's a lot more close to the actual weight of a real puck, which gives you that more realistic or game applicable training scenario, rather than training with something that's much lighter and then using a much heavier product during the game, which would make it much heavier or much harder to sort of get used to shooting with. So a normal puck is between 5 and 6 ounces, so this is much closer to the actual weight. Besides that, you can see that the construction of the Snipe puck is practically exactly the same as the Green Biscuit. It's the two separate discs that we've seen previously that are free to move independently from each other, almost like shock absorbers, keeping the puck flat on the asphalt or tarmac, regardless of what sort of training surface you're on. How these two discs are held together is this 3 bolts over here. If you look inside the bolts over here, the two parts of the disc that are separated by these bolts, you can see these rubber spaces around the actual joins over there, which kind of cushions the puck as it moves around on rough surfaces, so it's not smacking around hard against the different surfaces that it's grinding on, and it also reduces the noise that you get from it just a bit. The next change is going to be definitely when you're using this the new Green Biscuit Snipe, you can feel that it's made from a completely different material. Our traditional Green Biscuit here is made from a plastic that is incredibly slippery on all different surfaces, like this sort of ground that we're on right now. This new puck is made from a much more rubbery material, which makes it almost feel a lot rubberier than the previous one that we've seen over here. But what also that means is that this puck is much softer than the other one over here. You can actually feel that if you kind of like dig your nail against it, it is much softer than the previous Green Biscuits that we've seen. And what that means is that it's much more durable. So you can shoot with this thing, it can bounce off of hard surfaces without shattering, chipping or breaking, which is what the previous Green Biscuit would do. The older Green Biscuit, if you shot this against something hard or metal, it would literally just shatter like a plate, which is because it was made from that material, very stiff material which had no give. But this new rubbery material that they've used on the Green Biscuit Snipe allows you to shoot with it, which is going to be the main advantage with it. So the main things that you can use with the new Green Biscuit Snipe is going to be to practice your wrist shots, your slap shots, your one-timers. This can be used to practice any form of shooting, including backhands, all that kind of stuff. But you can also use it for passing and stick handling, but it's not as slippery as this Green Biscuit over here, which is important to mention. Because of this new material, which is much more durable, much softer, it means that it doesn't slide on hard surfaces as well as this puck over here. So what we're going to do in this video is show you exactly how well it slides on these different surfaces and give you some feedback of what we think. So the first thing that you notice with training with the new Green Biscuit Snipe is the difference in weight. When you're using it on this sort of surface over here, the friction that gets built up makes it feel much more heavier than it actually is, but much more like an actual puck on the ice, which is definitely a good thing. As you've been able to see from the video that we just shot here, you can still indeed practice your stick handling and passing with it on these sort of surfaces, but obviously you need to keep in mind that it's slightly heavier, made from a different material, so it won't slide as well as this puck over here. But the advantage of that is that it's more game applicable, it's much more realistic training with a product that's of a similar weight to the actual puck you'll use on the ice. The Green Biscuit over here, the original one, slides incredibly well on pretty much any surface that you can put it on that's not, you know, ridiculously rough, but it's much lighter than a real puck, so it doesn't give you that realistic feeling, but it allows you to build up your muscle memory and your quick twitch muscles to be able to move the puck around on the ice quite quickly. And one more point that I'll add is the new Snipe puck is much more durable. The new material that they've used has sacrificed a little bit of the sliding and gliding potential that the Green Biscuit has, but Green Biscuit has been quick to address the main problem with the old puck, which was that you couldn't shoot with it, and if you tried, it would break. So this new one is much more durable. You can see the one that we've got over here is pretty chewed up. We've been battering it against walls, against goalposts, against metal to see if we could break this thing, and it just didn't break. If you guys saw the article that I have in the video description, you'll see that when we did the same thing with this one over here, it shattered into about 7 different pieces. So be sure to pick one of these up. There'll be a link down below. Additionally, the main thing that we do like about this puck over here is the fact that you can shoot with it. Green Biscuit do say that this new puck eliminates the need for a shooting pad, but I mean, one of the things that I don't really like doing, which I did today, was using my carbon fiber stick on a material like this. I mean, the carbon fiber stick would get worn away, your stick blade would get chewed up, and your toe would get chewed up using it on these sort of surfaces. So it's definitely still advisable to get a shooting pad, but it just means that you can shoot with one puck. You don't have to have one puck to stick handle with, one puck to shoot with. You now only need one puck for everything. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to be practicing your stick handling in car parks, tennis courts, that sort of thing, on asphalt, to get one of the original Green Biscuits if you want to have a quick time being able to pass the puck around. But if you want to practice your shooting and also be able to practice a bit of stick handling and passing, then you go for the Snipe puck. But we definitely love this new product. As always, there'll be a link in the video description to where you can go pick one up. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like the videos, that really helps us out, and also be sure to subscribe for the latest videos. Take care till next time, guys.